After 59 years and 27 Pulitzers, the Boston Globe is abandoning its 16-acre campus on Morrissey Boulevard, heading to technologically modern space in the financial district. For reporters and editors, it's a bittersweet departure. It's one of the most recognizable and often photographed facades in Boston. But as of today, it's pretty much empty. That's Boston Globe reporter Emily Sweeney opting to pack her own stuff rather than leave it to the movers. Others are a tad more recalcitrant, like sports writers Dan Shaughnessy and Bob Ryan.
I've been feeling bad for about a month as I walk in here and see different departments that were once teeming with activity empty.
I do, however, have a plan to occupy the space like those South Shore parishioners and just be here 7/24, until the ball comes.
Dan Shaughnessy's grimy, windowless office is now void of its famous photo wall. His gruff manner aside, Dan waxes nostalgic about the old building.
It was like a city unto itself. I mean, you had a barber shop upstairs, you had dry cleaners, there's a gym here.
Over at 53 State Street, the digs are modern, open, with classic quotes on the glass doors. There's a Pulitzer wall and nods to some of the Globe's great writers and leaders of the past. The paper's old brainstorming center, named after one-time editor Tom Winship, will rise again, just a little more majestically. As for the future of journalism, technology reporter HIAWATHA BRAY says there are still many unknowns.
The public's demand for news is as great as ever. Our central problem has always been figuring out how we're going to get them to pay for it, what business model is going to work.
Bray remembers when this long corridor, home to the now-defunct classified section, was bustling with activity.
It's empty because along came first eBay, but the real killer was Craigslist. That was 1/3, roughly, of our revenue.
Bray believes the new building will be good for the bottom line, saving the costs of caring for a white elephant and being more in tune with a digital future. Still,
I'm looking forward to working there, but I'm gonna miss this place. The place has what you might call a new newsroom smell, and we're talking about how the first bag of burnt microwave popcorn will soon put an end to that.
Linda and John Henry will likely be first in line for a handful. I can understand the nostalgia of that, but I would be more excited about moving. Both, you still work for the Boston Globe. You used to work there. I would want to, let's get going. I'm like Callie. I'm not in the past. Let's get going.
I am wistful in my own way for some of what happened on Morrissey Boulevard. But for years, I worked in an office that had no windows, and occasionally it would rain inside. This building, you hear Bob Ryan and Dan Shaughnessy describing an era of journalism that no longer exists. Yeah. We are a smaller news organization than we used to be, and it doesn't, the Globe can be paying reporters and editors and photographers and videographers, or it can be spending money plowing acres of employee parking and heating and cooling a building that we do no longer fully occupy. I think that the move downtown, I'm really enthusiastic about it. It makes my own work easier. It makes it easier to cover things in the city. It makes it easier to meet with writers that might want to write for the section that I edit. I think in every way it's a positive. Again, even as someone who has some fine memories of Morrissey Boulevard.
It is not the Boston Globe if there's not reams and reams of yellowing papers hidden in every last drawer.
There will be soon enough.
No, it was, it's super nostalgic. I don't know how the crime reporters are going to work. That's my only question.
Why?
Because it's not that easy to get in and out, but of downtown.
Of the new building?
Yeah. I started as
public
crime
transportation.
Reporter. Yeah.
Well, that doesn't work in a crime scene.
Zip car.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. But I don't know. I love that place, and it's sad. It's sad.
Well, papers around the country did exactly what the Globe did. They moved out of the city because they needed space for the presses and the trucks and everything else. And now that that's no longer necessary, it makes all the sense in the world for papers to come back to the downtown, and they've done it over and over. I was struck by the video. I haven't seen the new Globe space yet, but I have been inside the new Washington Post space.
It's identical.
And it looks very similar. And I think it's a good thing for the Globe, and it's a good thing for the community.
They use the same architect.
One thing I want to point out is Mark Feeney had a wonderful story about the move in the Globe today, and he let the cat out of the bag. the archives at the Globe, especially the photos, I'm not sure what else, but I know the photos are coming to Northeastern University. We'll be storing them along with the Boston Phoenix archives.
That's great. They did have a big fire sale over the Globe this week with all the photographs. A lot of people took 50 cents for some photographs, some great stuff.
That's great.
Good. I hope that when they take the presses apart, they would sell some of the memorabilia of the type. That's for me. Because I am nostalgic about that kind of stuff, even though I never worked in print. That, to me, is very nostalgic. I will
you
say...
You have some jewelry made out of it?
No, well, I think it does bespeak of a certain era and time, and you know, I like that. I would also say that I'm very happy then, that even more so, that when the Spotlight movie happened, you captured the feel of that newsroom in the film. So it's there now for posterity, and it had very much to do with, you know, telling that story and, you know, how people told that story, and it's preserved.
The scene of Michael Resendez and the other reporters in the microfilm library.
Right.
So
I'm
actually, Shirley
appreciative
Leung
of
is going to do another piece on Monday that I worked with her on, and there's a few more of those elements in that too.
Oh, good. So, yeah. Well, anyway, so I get that. So good luck in your space. Yeah.